Thank you, President Ruth. And everyone here, before I even start, I want to tell you that I had the honor and the privilege and the good luck to be the TAC officer of a Ranger class held way back in 1954, in which Jack Galvin was in as a second lieutenant. And I could tell you then that when we used to have a little betting game going on with all the lane graders in the Ranger Department in those days, that we all picked Jack Galvin as a second lieutenant to be a general, four-star general. And that came true. No, didn't surprise me one bit. In fact, I made him the first company commander of that class, and he did a wonderful job there for me. So I'm delighted to have a small part in his life, but he was a splendid general. Tell me a little about myself. First, I want to thank the foundation for this honor. This is a tremendous honor for me and my family, and I appreciate it very, very much, and all the friends of mine out there that helped me get to this podium this morning. Thank you very, very much. A little bit about myself. I came to the Army in June of 1943. I spent 3 days at Camp Upton, Long Island, New York, getting uniforms, getting measured, examined, briefed a little bit about who was a lieutenant and who was a sergeant, and you salute the guy with the gold bar, but you listen to the guy with the stripes on the sleeve. And at any rate, well, I was being interviewed for what branch I was going to be in, and I was in the infantry, naturally. And I saw a big poster on the wall and said, "Go airborne." And I said, "I want to try that." And I did that. The next morning I was on a train heading for Camp Toccoa, Georgia. And I went down there and got there that evening, jumped off the train, got on a truck, got to the post. It was a one-battalion post, training post. The 506th Regiment trained there, the 511th Regiment trained there, and the 517th Regiment was training there. They were forming the 2nd Battalion. The next day, I jumped out of a 34-foot tower. I learned how to do push-ups. I didn't know what they even were. And I met a 25-year-old battalion commander, a major, and that was Dick Seitz. And he interviewed every one of us and interviewed me, and then I spent the next almost 3 years with him at the Fort Benning going to jump school, at Camp McCall for advanced training, collective training, and then over to war, Italy and France, Belgium, Germany. And followed him around with that wonderful group of men. I was the 2nd Battalion, I was the 517th, the Parachute Regiment. And I just found a way of life that was so wonderful and so grand that I stayed as a soldier the rest of my life, the rest of my days. And I'm still proud to be a man who's called, I'm a Toccoa man. And that's what we called the guys that went through the training at Camp Toccoa, Georgia. So I'm a Toccoa man. And then 27 years later, I showed up here as a colonel and just returned from commanding the 2506 Battalion, which is the Band of Brothers Battalion, in Vietnam. And I had a wonderful time here, just a wonderful time. Met wonderful people, trained with wonderful instructors. I watched many things happen here. You know, the war was still going pretty hot and heavy over in Vietnam in '69 and '70. And we had demonstrators outside the gate all the time. We had a debating team in our class that would take on any university to try to justify with the students why we were in Vietnam. And I had a horse here, and the horse got loose and tore up one of the greens. The day before the big event, the big golfing event at Carlisle Barracks. And I learned then there was another sort of not a medical term, I guess a term, they were doctors, they were green doctors. They had to bring the green doctor in that night to repair all the wheelies and the pirouettes that my horse had done on that green under headlights and also the bright lights to fix it up for the next morning when they teed off. Speaking of teed off, I had to see the chief of staff the next day. And I learned that the green doctors who they imported in Harrisburg, he came out and did the job on that green. They have some very, very interesting size or magnificent bills too, and I paid for that. But at any rate, I guess that's why they remember me here, because of my damage to the golf course. I got rid of that horse, by the way, before I left. But anyway, I just want to talk about a few things about after I got out, and that's what you told me to do, talk about post-retirement. I was lucky enough to be called by a great soldier, and that was Dick Cavazos. And he said, "Hey, I got this thing going here, called the BCTP, Battle Command Training Program, and I need some help." So I helped him, and we did it for 18 years together. 18 wonderful years with some great generals, General Lindsay, Ed Berber, Cavazos, of course, and I learned a lot about what I learned here. I learned a lot about those 18 years watching I did every division, some of them twice, some 3 times. I did the 28th Division. They're all represented here today to remember me. But I did them 5 times. Now, we have about 5 members, I think, out there. We have about 2 or 3 division commanders. We have the Brigade Sergeant Major here, who just did a 28-mile road march with a division in under 6 hours, by the way. That's a heck of a division sergeant major. But anyway, I learned a lot about what they learned, what those people learned here, and how important it was. You don't realize it when you're here in the class, but you know, when I went here in the class of '70, we had 2 National Guard officers in the class. 2. We have 24 today. We have 24 reservists in the class. You hear a lot of talk about, there's only one Army, seamless. Reserve, National Guard, and active. And a lot of it's done right here, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. This college doesn't get more just attention and credit for what's happened to the Army, because you can see since the war against terror has been going on, it's a seamless Army out there. Every one of those 28th Division guys over there has been in Bosnia. They've been in the Middle East. How many troops do you have over there today, John?
Over there right now?
Right now.
Right now, we have very few over there. We have med detachment ready to go to Kuwait, but from 28th IG.
But you were there, and you commanded a brigade, and you had units from other units. I mean, from other countries. Not one misstep. Did a wonderful job. They all have, and so that was all born right here, I think. And before I leave this podium, there's another thing that's happened here too. When I came here in '70, I had just come from, I was in Special Forces, 77th, 10th Group, and other prefix 3 jobs, but it was a strange relationship between the Special Forces folks and the rest of the Army. And that has really been helped tremendously, more than people realize, I think, by what happens here at the War College. We have 46 men and women back there who have time with Special Forces in one form or another. That's wonderful for us, you know. When I can recall, when I was in the 10th Group, I was going to be a liaison officer for the 5th Corps Winter Shield exercise. And I was sent from Bad Holz up to some town in Germany to the Corps headquarters. The first briefing we had, the Corps commander asked me, the Special Forces guy here to help him, would you please leave the room while we talk about our plan? You know? But believe it or not, in 1999, at an exercise in Fort Lewis, we finally got the first, I guess it was the first group, to send a team down to us to be liaison and to tell the Corps commander and his divisions what they could do for him in this war game, this BCTP experience. And the same thing happened there. The little group that came down from the Special Forces group, they were off somewhere with ponchos all around their maps. Nobody could look at them. And they were never invited to a division briefing. Now today, but when I left in my 18th year, I can recall going back doing the same kind of, not with that brigade, not that Corps, but another Corps exercise, where the first thing the Corps commander wanted to know was, where are all the ODAs? Where are all the ODAs that can help me know what this battlefield looks like? A lot of that happens here, just the conversations, just the getting together, bonding, and knowing what they bring to the battlefield. And you see it every day in this war against terror. In fact, they're going to send 50 over there to take on the whole ISMIS, I guess. ISMIS. That's a pretty good task. But at any rate, That's how far we've come. And War College has done that for this Army of ours. I would just ask all the men and women in the back room there, make a class of 2016 to just keep that going strong and well and healthy. And it's so important to our country. I would, before I close out, I would like to say that we make a big thing about buddy teams in a range of courses. Buddy teams are everything. Buddy teams, never send two soldiers out by themselves. Always one by himself, send two. Always have two folks out there watching their six. And I belong to a pretty good buddy team too. And I think I'm about 30% as far as a contributor to that buddy team. And 70% goes to that lady right there. And she's been... She's been my best buddy for 60 years. So at any rate, I want to say God bless the class of 2016. I know you do well. You've got your work cut out for you on graduation day. And you get that diploma and head out that gate. But I know you're up to the task. And I thank God that we've got people like you protecting us. So God bless you, all of you. And God bless all of the War College, the faculty, all the wonderful people here, all my friends who are here, my breakfast club, my 28th Division, roll on. Great division, wonderful division. Oldest serving division in the U.S. Army. And always we grew up wonderful people, true patriots. I want to God bless the U.S. Army. God bless this wonderful country of ours. God bless America.